What's up, everyone? It's Rahul, and today I want to talk about just some social media rumors, circulations, whatever you want to call them, that are going around. Um, Mad Max chaos has seemed to have ensued from a lot of leaks, season information, or whatever. So I just want to kind of talk about uh, goals for players in general, and I've talked about this before, how I think the circuit can be improved. Christopher Szymanski asked on Twitter, there's a lot of rumors and circulations going around. If you were working for TPCI, how would you fix the season structure tomorrow? And I gave a pretty simple answer. I think that BFLs, Worlds, whatever aside, I think the biggest things that need to be fixed in the circuit are a few pretty simple things to add incentives to every level. I think at the current moment, the changes that they made heading into this season were really good. Like the projected numbers, the pricing increase was awesome. All that stuff was awesome. It was very welcome. But then we blew every regional number out of the water. Every single regionals we had this year was shattering records. We started the season off with Pittsburgh being the largest regional, quote unquote, and then we immediately followed up into Peoria being the largest regional, quote unquote. And I think besides a couple of the Midwest and West Coast ones that were a little bit inaccessible to get to, we had a lot of regionals shattering records. Orlando, I think either Orlando or Indianapolis was the biggest by far. A lot of regionals eclipsing 1,500, 1,600 players, basically almost on the size of ICs. Like NAIC was 2,600 Masters roughly, and that number was basically met by two regionals, which is crazy to think about the demand and the craze that's there. So let's just say, hypothetically, the rumors are true. Let's just say that the World Championship invite has gotten significantly harder to get. Why is this a problem? Why is doing what they're doing a problem? Well, by changing the number of CP bar to something else like top X, it is taking away the illusion of attainability. Right up till now, if you put the number at 600 CP, players still believe that they could get it off of their own merit. And this season, when it started, we saw how many people complained that this is one of the hardest seasons. This is the hardest season. It's going to be way too hard to qualify, yada, 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 etc., etc. This is the biggest World Championships by far to date. The most players qualified across the globe, and I think a lot of people who tried to get it, for the most part, got it. So it wasn't even that difficult. I'm not going to diminish anyone's accomplishment. If you qualified for Worlds in any given year, you did what you're supposed to do. But every year the conversation starts off with Worlds is too hard, and the conversation ends with Worlds was too easy. If you didn't qualify, you qualified in a bum year, whatever. Like, why are people so off-putting? Why do people want to put others' accomplishments down? I hate that. It's one of my least favorite parts about social media. I think if you qualified on any given year, like if tomorrow they said, hey, if you are this qualification, you qualify, and you do it, congratulations, you did it in the given year based on the criteria given. If you are someone who got to 600 and decided to chill for the next 2 or 3 months, no shame, you got there. Who cares? Like, show up and show out at Worlds. That's all that matters. Like, if I worked all year to get number one rank NA, like, and Brent Tonneson goes to Worlds and starts 0-4, like, no one gives a fuck about how his like whole season went. He went 0-4. Like, that's what people are going to think about and remember. Like, you have to keep those things in mind when you're complaining, I guess, or like trying to put other people down on social media. It's one of my least favorite things. And right now, this discourse that's happening right now, I'm not going to give it any credence. Obviously, I don't know anything. I'm just a guy who was spending time with his family and hanging out this weekend playing other card games in my little bit of a break. But it just seems like people are like dumping on each other and preemptively quitting for no reason. I do think that Worlds should not be the ultimate goal for every player. Like, I do agree that World Championships to some degree should be more exclusive. Given, I don't know, if you look at every other card game, we're the largest World Championships by far. Like, I might get some of these numbers wrong, but I think Hearthstone is like 16. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like 24 or 32. One Piece was 16. Magic, I think, is 48. That number seems a little bit high. I don't actually know exactly Magic, but my point stands. Like, World Championships are meant to be World Championships. Usually, these tournaments, all these games have a qualifying structure for ICs, but I think you can't really make a qualifying structure for ICs because ICs are already so big in terms of what they are. So I think for ICs, just make those numbers bigger, let more people play, let them enjoy that experience. And for regionals, I think that adding promo cards as prizing across the board to I've said this a ton of times on this channel. If you guys are a long time watcher or viewer, you know that my stance has not changed one bit about adding promo cards back into the circuit, League Cups, League Challenges, all the way up through Worlds. Like, more promos need to be added. If you make day 2 at regionals, just stamp a day 2 regional promo. It does not cost Pokemon anything to stamp a Gita and hand them out. Like, who cares that you have a stamped Gita? That's not going to be a collector's charm. A stamped Arven, who cares? Like, maybe your top 8 Gita is going to be worth a little bit of money, but that doesn't affect Pokemon in any way, shape, or form. Top 32 Gita, who cares? Maybe they make exclusive illustration rares stamped, like, maybe, like, let's just say, like, because we already do playmats and stuff to some degree. Let's say, like, a Koraidon, stamped Koraidon is, like, I don't know, like a more unplayable card that Pokemon just thinks is cool for, like, a certain block. Like, because we're already doing quarters, like, same quarter block applies for stamped promos. I also think, yeah, just a simple thing that needs to come back. Like, I think that would incentivize a lot more players to play, because I did take a poll on my Twitter, and I asked, hey, how many people played to qualify this year? And obviously Twitter is not the entire masses. Twitter just embodies a couple of people. And out of the 1,500 people that voted on my poll, 42% of players said that they played just because they enjoy playing Pokemon. 20% said they played to qualify, and 25% said it was their first year playing, and they don't know if they're going to grind or not the next year. So an overarching almost 70%, we're not even playing to qualify, and this is Twitter, where people are already going for information. A lot of the mass public who are just going to locals and enjoying the game are not even thinking about the World Championships. So we're a vast minority of players. I said, how many regionals would players attend this season? And once again, the number was a little bit shocking to me. I know I like, in my head it made sense why these numbers should be the way they are, but it made a lot more sense looking at it. If you guys guessed that the most attended number was, out of, again, almost 1,500 people, 32 or 33% attended one regional this year. Only one. A lot of people don't attend more than one because that one regionals is their experience. Locals is what they go to enjoy the game. For a lot of people, this is a hobby. This is not their job. This is not, like, people have wives, kids, other things they do, and Pokemon is a hobby that they can go enjoy with their friends on a Wednesday night or a Thursday night. So don't listen to the vast minority. If you're like someone who wants to qualify for Worlds, set your goals accordingly. Work towards it. Don't let people get you down. If you're someone who wants to just enjoy the game, enjoy the game. It is what it is. Like, the mentality of already going, like, I need 5-3-1 or I need to go 5-4-4-1 at an IC to pick up 50 points. That's already a defeatist mentality. Like, what are you doing? Like, you should be thinking about winning tournaments. You should be thinking about performing at the highest level. I also wanted to, again, reiterate that I want end of season CP and play point rewards based on, like, other countries have already done it. Like Japan, it's like not the hard. Japan has like one of the largest player bases, and like if they earn like an X, like 100 CP, let's say, I'll just use a rough example, they get mailed out like a stamped Poffin. I don't think that's the right card that they got this year, but you know what I mean. Like, they'll get like a stamped Poffin, and that Poffin is worth a little bit of money on the secondary market. 300 CP, cool. You get a stamped Vitality Band, a little bit of money. 500, let's get a little saucy with it. You get a stamped Radiant Greninja or a stamped Radiant Alakazam. Who cares? Something fancy, you know? Let the players have a little bit of fun. Give them something good. My other shtick is I think that pricing needs to increase. Obviously, I think that given the raw entry fees, the current pricing structure, while it seems like a lot is being paid out, not that much is actually being paid out. A lot of money is going into the pockets of either the organizer or Pokemon directly at this point. We don't know exactly where it's going. And that means that while it is a job for these organizers and for Pokemon, this is a bag that's going, it's a little bit too big. Like, Pokemon does not get hurt by giving a little bit more pricing out to top 64. You know, top 64 gets, let's say right now it's what, $1,000 for 32. Top 64 gets $500. That's 32 more people at $500. That's $16,000. That's not a lot of money to hand out. Obviously for VGC, and I don't know their numbers. I don't know younger division numbers, but not a lot of sweat. Making product or handing out product costs absolutely $0 to Pokemon. It's not a big sunk cost. Just hand out a couple more packs. Maybe 9 packs out to 128. Who cares? Maybe everyone who makes day 2 gets a couple of packs. I don't know. Like, making day 2 and walking out with nothing is a terrible feeling, especially when these regionals are getting as big as they are. Same with ICs. And I understand there's no participation prizes, but you made it to the top 10% in this field of 3,000 people a lot of the time. Like, that's pretty insane to think about. Like, you should not walk out feeling like you did nothing for 6 rounds. Like, I don't know. That's my logic on it. And I am obviously someone who places in the top half a lot of the time, but there's a lot of days where I don't. And for me, I'm used to it. For me, I'm playing for the love of the game. I'm playing for a win. So my goals are very different from others. But for a lot of people, your first regionals, you make day two, you have a bad time in day two. Happens. But leaving with nothing kind of sucks. I also think that League Cup pricing should be regulated. So back in the day, Pokemon used to send out promos and a box and the mat for first place, and maybe like a couple. I think a secondary box for like second through eighth type thing. I don't really know exactly how they did it. I was very young, but they used to send that product out, so it wasn't provided by the stores, which makes it super easy to do that again. I don't know. Like, it seems like really easy to just send out a box with the mat, like our box or two boxes with the mat, and just tell the store, here's your two boxes, here's the mat, make sure this is in the pricing, you figure it out. And then the store can add additional pricing, additional sauce to their entry fee or whatever, but regulate it a little bit. That's it. Anyway, the point of this video is just Worlds isn't the ultimate goal. Pokemon needs to add more incentives. I've said this for time and time and time and time and time again. To the structure, there needs to be more incentives for people to play. And whenever the information actually gets revealed, come to this channel. I will talk about it. I will give you my honest opinion on it. I will help you guys figure out what the correct route is to plan, depending on what the structure even is, where we're even going. Just chill out till there's official information, I think. Like, don't panic. There's no reason to panic. The season doesn't start for another week. Just go to your locals. If you plan on earning CP, just go play challenges. Go play cups. Have fun. At the end of the day, just enjoy and ignore a lot of the people on social media is all I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of people out there who like to yap for the sake of yapping. I'm not going to name names, but they clearly don't have the best intentions and they just want to talk. So just ignore it and move on with your life. Have a good day. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the hobby. Bye-bye from me. That's all I have. Love you guys. I'll be trying to qualify no matter what the structure is next year, even if it's like top 2 NA. We'll try. I'm not going to get there, but we'll try. All right, see you.